Asana, our last pop-up of this, our last class rather of this pop-up. And this week it's been about being. So this morning, luckily, comes to the very end of our pop-up and it's about being together. So being together doesn't necessarily mean to be physically together. I feel I'm with you when we do these classes. Hopefully you've experienced the same connection. So let's just begin our breath practice, thinking of, as we breathe, everyone else breathing in class with us. We may be doing it slightly at different times, but pop your hands together in Anjali Mudra, our prayer hands, our gratitude seal. So sealing one side to the other of our physical body here, right to left. Bring your thumbs in towards your heart center and draw up through your crown, through your sit bones, lift up and move your heart towards and connecting to your thumbs. So then you have to really switch on your shoulders and collarbones a little bit and move them down away from your ears. So now that we've got the posture, let's begin our breath practice just by breathing in for 4 through our nostrils. And out for 4 through the nostrils. And let's take 5 breaths after this one, using our finger connections to count the breaths so that I can do it with you. So on the next one, you press your little pinky fingers together. That's number 1, breathing in and exhaling on that. Moving up the fingers when you're ready to your ring finger next. Keep breathing, keep counting. I've just counted on my thumbs, so have 2 more breaths without worrying about fingers and thumbs. Just breathe in for 4, your speed. Out for 4, your speed. Maybe a slow 4, it may be a faster 4. We all breathe at different speeds, different lengths, but we're all breathing together. So feel that collective swell on the inhale. And that gathering inward together on the exhale. There is energy out there connecting us all, even though we're not in the same room, in the same house, in the same town, in the same country. After you next exhale, let go of the breath. Just remain there with eyes closed just for a second more. See if you can feel that energy around you, now within you perhaps. Everything is energy. And open the eyes, keep the hands connected. I'm going to start to move. You might want to just uncross, recross legs if you're getting a bit stiff that way. So make it easeful, change legs if you need to. Keep the hands together at heart center. We're just going to take them up in that straight line as we inhale and down back to heart center as we exhale. So using the whole breath, breathing in and reaching upwards with the middle fingers, keeping the shoulders and the elbows moving slightly backwards so the hands come above the head as you reach as far as you're comfortable, and then exhaling back down. So you have to then draw the hand round the front of the head and back down to heart center. Take 2 more in your own time. So inhaling up, don't forget your posture, your sit bones, your tummy, nice stable bottom half. Easeful movement in the top as you move and open the shoulders and the arms and the side bodies. Take 1 more, nice and slowly. Feel that connection between the palms of your hands with that little space in between that's not quite connected, a bit like an instep on your foot. And then keeping the hands together in Anjali Mudra. We're going to take cat-cow in this position. So only roll forward and upwards as much as you feel comfortable. So inhale tall, first of all, in neutral. And then exhale, tuck your chin and tip your nose towards your fingers. Tuck your tummy and roll forward just the way you're comfortable and into a cat back. Think of the heart moving backwards. And then begin the inhale from the sit bones, rolling back up. Thumbs are still connected to the front of your body. As you move your heart then forward towards your thumbs and open up the front of the body. A little bit more difficult because the palms are together. Rolling back down when you're on an exhale into your cat back. And back up into your cow back, moving that heart forward, remember, keeping the tummy engaged, gently pressing into the sit bones to lift you up a little bit higher, a little bit longer. And then exhale back into neutral spine. I'm going to take a couple of twists now. When you're ready, breathe in nice and tall, make space in your spine, hands still at heart center. And then in the exhale, move gently through the right shoulder towards your right. Now you might not go as far as you think. Keep your thumbs connected to your heart. So it doesn't matter how far you go, it's just a little twist possibly. And then exhale back to the front. So inhale tall, exhale to the left this time, keeping the thumbs in front of the sternum, which means it stops your nose going quite so far. It wants to go ahead. And then bring yourself back to the front again. One more each side. Think of keeping that line between nose and fingers and heart. Inhale tall, exhale round. Take your awareness down to what's happening in your hips. Back to the front when you're ready. Take it nice and slowly. Really engage with what you're doing. Inhale tall, try and move the breath and the body at the same time. Making them move together. Back to the front. Uncross, recross the legs. So we're going to do the same again. We'll start on the left side this time and take two each side again. Before we do, just notice the sensation on the front of your quads and thighs here and down into the hip flexors. Maybe it's on the back of the hips as well. Should swap over now, so we're actually balancing what we've just done. So inhale tall when you're ready, hands in Anjali Mudra at heart center. Exhale over to the left. Watch what your nose is doing, trying to take it ahead of you. Back to the front. And exhale. Sorry, I've got us off the breath here. So we're inhaling tall and we're exhaling round on the twist. Hopefully you found your own breath pattern. Inhale back to the front and then exhale, settle. Inhale tall, one more either side. You probably have worked out how to do this. Your breath knows what to do as you move. It's going to do it for you if you don't work it out. It won't stop breathing or working. Back to the front, settle. Inhale tall, exhale over to the right. Noticing what's happening in your hips possibly. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, settle. Let go of Anjali Mudra for a second. Just have a little roll through your shoulders. Uncross, recross the legs one last time. So now pop your hands onto your knees, connecting them. And we're going to take our side bends without putting our arm up and over, but we're going to think of really extending through our crown from sit bone before we side bend. Keeping the hands and knees connected is a little bit of support. So you won't go very far because you haven't got that stability beside you. If you feel too wobbly, do put the hand down. So inhale tall, draw the tummy in, tuck the chin. Exhale, move over armpit to hip on the right side. So the elbow drops down the side of the body on the right side. Inhale back up to the top using the sit bones. And exhale, soften. Inhale tall. Watch what happens with the head. Try and keep it in a nice steady curve. Don't let it just drop over. Exhale over. Inhale back up to the top when you're ready. One more either side, noticing this time the connection between your hands and knees. Inhale tall, exhale, armpit to hip on the right side. But watch what's happening with your hands and knees, the support that one's taking from the other. Inhale back up to the top. One last time to the left, on your own time with your own thoughts. Back up to the top. And release. Not huge big side bends this morning. Let's just take our legs out in front of us now into Baddha Konasana. So take the soles of the feet together now, keeping the hands together at heart center. So bring the hands, the thumbs and the heart towards each other again. Draw up from the sit bones right up to the crown. Keep the tummy engaged. Let the legs just fall. Try not to hang on too much through your thighs. And then inhale tall and exhale into cat back in this position. So tucking the chin, tucking the tummy, moving the heart towards with the thumbs, rolling forward, head's coming a little bit further forward in that diamond shape. And then inhaling back up to the top by pushing gently through the sit bones, rolling up from the bottom of the spine, back up to the top. Take one more without the cow, just cat. Inhale down. Exhale, roll forward when you're ready. So you might be going a little bit further. Try not to collapse inwards, trying to lengthen and roll down. So opening up the spine a little bit further now in this position. Inhale back up to the top. And one more and hold this time for one breath. So inhale tall. Keep the tummy engaged, roll forward, tuck everything that needs to give you some space in the front of your body. Feel your heart moving down towards your thumbs with it. Hold there, take 2 breaths here. Taking your attention to your lower back. Make sure your tummy is engaged to support it. Breathing into the back of the body if possible. And when you find your next inhale, breathe in and raise up gently back up to the top. So then take the hands behind you and clasp the hands behind you. Feet are still in Baddha Konasana. So the hands are off the floor, they're just clasped behind me, and we're going to take 3 cows and hold the third one here. So think about length first of all. So draw up through the spine, inhale, roll the heart forward, take the hands down towards the floor. So you're pressing through the back of your clasped hands downwards, drawing your shoulders back towards each other, and then exhaling back up to neutral. So it's a sensation of opening the front of the top of the body here, opening as you inhale and roll forward, taking the arms away from you, giving that stretch across your collarbones. And back up. Notice what's happening in your legs and feet and thighs as you're doing this to support you. Inhale tall again and roll open. And exhale down. Take your legs away from you, in front of you. Pop your hands on the floor behind you. Just have a little jiggle through your thighs. You might find that when, well, mine, I felt it quite strong in my hip flexors. So do release a little bit there. If you feel you need to at any point, you can windscreen wiper. That'll give you a good release through your hips. Okay, so hands still behind us on the floor. We're going to take frog's legs. So I'm starting with my feet towards me, heels, knees and ankles together. And then taking the feet away from us, dirty feet unfortunately, opening up, drawing them back round and back together at the top. So take 2 more like that, going forward together, drawing the heels round, back together, 1 more. Really feeling what you've just had tensed, and when you get to the top, we're going to go the other way. So move the other way. Notice the area that we've just worked on. Didn't think you were really working on your legs here, did you? But certainly I can feel it in my hip flexors. Maybe it's just me needing to do something with them. The body warning me. Last one in the other direction. Walk the hands back up. Come back into Baddha Konasana. So you might want to bring your feet a little bit closer this time in Baddha Konasana. You decide how big a triangle, a diamond shape you've got here. You can be quite a distance away, or you can bring them in a little bit closer. Bring your hands then either to your shins or your knees, somewhere on your legs, or even your feet. If you can reach them, tuck your fingers under the outside edge of your feet. So you'll already have started to move forward. Now draw your tummy in, move into your sit bones and move your heart forward so that you open out the front of your body as much as you can. So feel as if you've got a nice long front body and long back, long sides, reaching through the crown, tucking the chin a little bit, making sure you're not throwing your head backwards. And then breathe in tall in that position, tuck your chin, tuck your tummy, and start to roll forward, but you're moving your forehead forward towards your feet rather than inward towards your tummy. And we're holding in this position. So use your arms and legs to work together to support you when you get down to where you're comfortable. Quite a big forward bend, nice big lower back opener, this one. So breathe in and out here as is nice and slowly, nice and smoothly, using the exhale to see if you can soften a little bit more into this. Some of you may be able to fold completely forward in this position. It's not my body doesn't do that, it goes the other way. But if you're quite further forward, rest your head if you can in your hands, if you have managed to go quite far forward. Just see if you can relax the back of the body. However far you've folded, you can still relax a little bit more through it. And then we're going to come back up from this. So come back up slowly. Use the hands and the arms and the legs together. Use the sit bones to start stacking from the sit bones up the way and come back up to the top. So still in Baddha Konasana, I'm going to go into eagle arms now in this position. If your legs are getting too tired and you want to take straight legs out in front of you, Dandasana legs, then do so, or cross your legs, whichever is more comfortable. But if you are comfortable doing so, stay in Baddha Konasana. We're going to take our arms out to the side and we're going to take our right arm under our left, elbow goes into elbow crease, turn the hands so that they face together, clasp the mound of the thumb with the other fingers. Did this yesterday actually. Okay, so in this position, I feel I've rolled back. So I'm going to draw myself forward first of all by tucking my tummy and lifting up through the sit bones. And then I'm going to think about my crown and draw my crown backwards slightly because I can feel my neck sticking forwards, tucking the chin so that you feel like you've got a nice long spine. Okay, so let's just take 3 lifts in this position of the arms. So when you're ready, breathing in, just lift the elbows together a little bit, not too far, and lower. Obviously, those of you who are hypermobile have to think about this one a little bit, so containing that space behind your shoulder blades. Last lift on this side. And then release the arms, have a big stretch, open them a little bit backwards if you can to open this area here that we've just contained, and then recross the arms in the other direction. So it's probably the one that doesn't feel quite right. So elbow to elbow, fingers on the mound of the hand, can't quite see you. Again, think of your posture first of all, check your spine alignment. And then begin to lift and inhaling up, exhaling slowly down. Imagine that line that we had at the beginning. You're going up the line slowly and down. One more time. And down. I'm going a little bit faster probably because I'm not counting. Undo the arms. Get the legs away from us. Have a little rock shake through your legs. Gently do some shoulder rolls one way, then the other. And then take the feet to the floor and do a few windscreen wipers as well while we're here, just to loosen off a little bit. Put in a little twist now. So left leg out, right foot comes in to join the inner thigh of the left leg. I'm going to take a twist in both directions. So let's keep the hands connected to the floor or a leg or something as we walk round in this twist. So inhale tall, exhale, we're going to the long leg side. So we're going to the open side. So walk the hands over, might end up with your right hand resting on your thigh there. Back, other hands on the floor, and just slowly move yourself into the twist and wait there. Wait and breathe. Feeling that connection and support of the floor, the hands, the feet and the leg. To give you that ease to breathe into in the top half of your body. Everything working together. After the next exhale, walk your hands, you might want your eyes closed for this if you can. Walk your hands back round, walking them touching something, floor or leg or something, till you come to the closed side more. And again, start to breathe here. So take your breath in and out, count to 4 if you can. Think of that long spine again. Connect the breath to the movement of the spine as you inhale up and exhale, soften. Just imagine all those tiny spaces between each vertebrae, finding space on the inhale and stacking gently on top of each other on the exhale. And then walk the hands back to center, swap legs, same thing, other side. I've got a clock here, better check it. Okay. Okay, so attach the foot to the inner thigh, not to your knee, remember, you want it against your inner thigh. If that's too high, you can take it further down onto your calf. Okay, so the other foot is flexed to give us some support as well here. We're going to start to walk over to the open side, the long leg side. So when you're ready, inhale tall, gently walking across, finding your hands still connected to something as you gently move into the twist to the right. So again, think of all those connections as you inhale, exhale here for 2 or 3 breaths in your own time. Noticing your sit bones connected to the floor. Noticing your movement of your breath, moving your body up and down, as we've said. Your foot connected to your thigh. And then walk back round, back over to the other side. Find that connection again of hands to thighs or legs or floor. Inhale tall, find your breath again, take 2 or 3 breaths here, exhaling. Noticing the connection between you telling the breath what to do and it doing what you're asking of it. Noticing the connection of you to your breath, to your body. And then walk the hands back to the front. And then where are we? Okay, so now we're going to take the feet into Baddha Konasana one last time. And we're going to do eagle arms with a forward fold here. So if this is too strong for you and your shoulders don't like it this morning, just pop your hands into Anjali Mudra. Otherwise, we're taking the first version of our eagle arms again. When you've got them there, and your legs can be further away or closer, whichever you feel, but try and have your feet together, hands together. Inhale tall, and then begin your forward fold into your cat back. So tucking chin, tucking tummy, elbows are moving forward towards your feet and then starting to roll inward slightly as you come down. Come to wherever you're comfortable. Stop there, take 2 breaths. Engage your chin to keep your head from getting too heavy. Notice the weight moving into the back of the body and into the back of the shoulders. Try and breathe into that area, using the exhale to relieve the pressure. And then gently on your next inhale, breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling at the top, opening out. Swapping arms, same thing, other side. So we know where we're going now, much easier to do it when we all know what we're doing together. Inhale tall, and then exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the tummy, move forward gently, rolling forward just to where you're comfortable. Find that balance point that's right for you. And then breathe. Being aware of anything that's slightly different on this side. I'm very aware that my lat muscle, that big muscle up the back of your body, is much tighter on this side of me. And that's usually generally from what we do throughout the day. And then bring yourself back up to the top. Undo the arms, have a big stretch or a shoulder roll, whatever you need. Taking the legs now into wide leg. I'm going to need your bricks and cushions and things now, because we're going into a kind of yin restorative version of wide leg forward fold. So take your legs as wide as is comfortable. You can have the feet on the floor, you can have the knees bent. Don't need to stretch out into complete wide leg if it's not for you and your legs don't feel like doing it. We're going to have the bricks roughly where our head's going to land when we forward fold. So you can stack them. You can use a cushion if you want to on top of them if you want something softer. Find your head, just practice roughly where your head's going to go to and find that point for your bricks. You may adjust them when we get there. It might not be right when we get there. You might need to lower them. So when you're ready, everybody ready, hopefully. Now to the long front of body experience here. So into sit bones, raising up through crown, taking shoulders and opening the front of the collarbones. And then tucking the chin, tucking the tummy. Feet are switched on if you're in full wide legged. And rolling forward, starting to feel the movement through the hips, through the inner thighs potentially. Watching where your bricks are so that you can move towards them, moving that third eye position towards wherever you're going. And just gently resting eventually onto whatever's there to support you. So bring that spot on your forehead just above your eyebrows to something that you can connect to and let the weight of your head be supported by it. If you like now, you can switch your feet off a little bit. You might find it's not for you. You might find switching them on actually helps to support you a little bit in this. It's the upper body we're trying to relax and release. But you can release the legs eventually once you feel settled. So try and let the shoulders pour forward. I've got my hands on the floor as a little bit of support there. My elbows are on my thighs so that my shoulders can release. So find the back of your body. Notice where is easy and released. Notice where it feels a little bit stretchy, a little bit tight. Move the breath down to that area if you can, breathing into that area on the back of your body. And on the exhale, see if it gives a little bit, just softens, releases. Take 3 or 4 breaths into that area. As you do so, you might find your head gets heavier on whatever's supporting you. So you might find you can actually raise up slightly and then lower your bricks so that you can go down a little bit further into this forward fold. But don't push it. It does take time to release into these positions. If you were doing this at home for any length of time, you would find yourself moving forward and downward. So you would have to adjust what was holding you. Some of you may be able to fold forward and reach the floor in this, and that's great, but do find something still to support your head. Might just be your forearms crossed underneath you. We're all made differently, so this is the thing about not being together in class. We don't see somebody who suddenly folds himself beautifully into a forward fold like this. And then we have all this pressure on us that we should be doing the same, but we don't do the same because we're not made the same. So although we're doing all this together, none of us will be doing the same thing. So we're going to come out of this. We've been in it 2 or 3 minutes. So use your hands, walk them in, use them as support. Find your sit bones before you start to roll up. Tuck your chin to take the weight of your head. And gently start to roll back and start from the bottom of your spine up again. Take your time. You've been in that position for quite a while, so take your time rolling back up. And then we're just going to bring ourselves down and find ourselves in Shavasana. Finish our week, our class this week, our pop-up this month. Gently placing your backs, vertebrae by vertebrae, onto the floor, connecting to the floor, connecting maybe the palm of your hands to the floor. We often turn our hands the other way in Shavasana, but maybe it's nice to feel the floor under the palm of the hands. You might want your knees bent for a change here. You might want to put your feet to the floor. Have a change about if you feel you need to. Again, as I say, we don't all need to be doing the same thing. Find your breath again, connect it to you. Take control of it. And take 3 or 4 breaths in your own time. Realizing that if we were all lying in the same room, we'd all be breathing together. Not necessarily at the same speed or to the same depth, but still all breathing together. Still all sharing the same energy. Being together is what us humans are supposed to be, in my opinion. So this week we've been here on the mat, we've been flexible, we've been enough, and we've been strong. And what we've done together this week and over the last 4 weeks on the mat and off it, we've been together, and we've also given 20 other people the chance to have that care and companionship that we find over the Christmas weekend through crisis, and hopefully make a difference to their life. So remember, yoga brings us together always, whether physically or not. It always brings us together spiritually, improving our lives and everybody else's, hopefully too. When you're ready, have a little wriggle. You might want to windscreen wiper your legs or have a hug in Apanasana. Have a stretch, full body stretch. Take your time. Take your time and gently move up to finish in Sukhasana. Or continue if you have time and the ability to continue in Shavasana. Excuse me. My glasses on, can't see. So not quite as powerful as some of the classes we've done in this pop-up. I have been quite strict and hard on you, I think, this pop-up. We'll go forward into our festive pop-up starting on Monday. There's no class on Tuesday because I'm travelling back from France, but hopefully on Monday I'll be back upstairs and you can look out the window at a nice snowy scene. Thank you for coming. Thank you for everything you've done, this pop-up and in all the others. Thank you on behalf of Crisis this time, and have a lovely weekend and look forward to spending December together. Thank you and namaste.